right, y'all, let's go. We got another one. All right, so we back in the Uniform Commercial Code. We ain't stopping until we get it all. We getting it. All right, so let's go. So we got section Article 1, Section 204. As you know, I got the Black Law Dictionary to my left. And we going to start off with defining the word value. Okay, we're going to look this up here. Value. All right, so value. So it means the significant desirability or utility of something, the monetary worth or price of something, the amount of goods, services, or money that something commands in exchange. Right? With respect to negotiable instruments and bank collections, a person generally gives value for rights if he or she acquires them. That's actually on here. We're going to read that here instead of in here. Okay, so that's pretty much value. The monetary worth or price of something, that the amount of goods, services, or money that something commands in an exchange. All right, so the amount of goods, services, or money that something commands in an exchange. Okay, that's what you call value, right? Because remember, in the older video, you may have to go back to it, but I defined in the article, the general provisions, I talked about what a transaction was, right? So this is all talking about transactions. And if you're selling something, if you're leasing something, if you're licensing something, if you're exchanging something, right? You're going to want some value. You're going to want some monetary worth. You're going to want some price of something. You're going to want something in exchange, or you're going to want something back for what you just gave, right? You're not just giving that for free, right? And mind you, the Uniform Commercial Code is contract law, right? So that's the generality of what a contract is about, right? You're getting something, the other person's getting something. Consideration, the value. Somebody's getting something and someone else is getting something else, right? That's what this is all about, right? From a bird's eye view, okay? So value, to accept as otherwise provided in Article 3, 4, and 5, and 6, right? So Article 3 is negotiable instruments, 4 is bank collections, 5 is, I want to say, letters of credit, 6 is bulk transactions. All right, so not in those, but remember, because it said Article 1 applies to every other article, right? But this is making a distinction. Hey, except in these articles, a person, right, individual entity, right? So when it says person, it's talking about an individual and a business or organization, okay? So when a person gives value for rights, okay? And another thing with contract law, right? So this word rights here, it corresponds, or it has a correlative duty. Someone has a correlative duty, right? So that's why it says when a person gives value for rights, because that person that's given value for those rights, they have a duty now because they just got somebody's rights. So they have a duty now, right? So that they go together. You can't have a duty without a right, and you can't have a right without a duty. Okay? Okay, all right. So a person gives value, right? Right? Monetary worth or price of something. So they're going to have to pay for those rights they just got. All right? There's something commands in this exchange that's about to happen, right? Because you're conducting business, okay? So a person gets value for rights if the person acquires these rights. That's what they mean by them, right? So a person is giving value for rights if they get those rights or they acquire those rights, one, in return for a binding commitment to extend credit or for the extension of immediate available credit, whether or not drawn upon and whether or not a chargeback is provided for in the event of difficulty in collection. Okay? So generally, so in Article 1, 2, 7, 8, and 9, right? Which is what these should tie into, right? So I know Article 9 deals with extensions of credit. 7 is letters of credit. 8, you see what I'm saying? So it's singling out 3, 4, 5, 6. You see what I'm saying? And it's leaving 1, 2, 7, 8, and 9. You see what I'm saying? So those should have something to do with these three things they're mentioning, right? Because it's excluding 3, 4, 5, and 6, but it's saying, hey, because remember, Article 1 applies to the rest of the articles. So I would say from reading this particular section of Article 1 applies to only Articles 1, 2, 7, 8, and 9 when it's talking about value, okay? And it's dealing with transactions where a person is given value for rights if the person acquires those rights to as security for or in total or partial satisfaction of a pre-existing claim. Okay? So that's how you know a person gets value for rights. When they say, all right, so we're going to take these rights as security for or to satisfy this pre-existing claim. Because they're giving value. They're saying, hey, there's a pre-existing claim out here. Oh, but you gave me your rights. All right, so we'll settle this pre-existing claim because you gave us your rights. Right? Whatever those rights may be. Rights to payment, rights to collect on an account, security interest, right? All that ties in to Article 9. See what I'm saying? All right. So, and then number 3, right? So a person gets value for rights if the person acquires them by accepting delivery under a pre-existing contract for purchase. They accept delivery. So that's how you know they give value for rights, when they accept delivery under a pre-existing contract for purchase. Right? Or, right, a person gives value for rights if the person acquires them in return for any consideration sufficient to support a simple contract.